be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
The edition of the Sport Hobby. I am Salihu Usman. My second is unavoidable absence today, so I'll be alone on today's edition of the Sport Hobby. And we'll be starting from the ongoing World Athletic Championship in Budapest, Hungary. After some times when Team Nigeria's performance not look comfortable for many Nigerians after several athletes dropped on the way, couldn't make it to the podium. Yesterday, Nigeria feel a sigh of relief as the world record holder and the superstar athlete Tobi Amusan breezed to the semi-final of the competitions, winning her heat with a commendable timing record. Amusan, who is obviously with that, Nigerians are now beginning to feel that definitely, by anyhow, Nigeria will definitely make it to the medal table, courtesy of the superstar Tobi Amusan. And the athlete herself has said that the only thing in her mind, she's definitely focused on retaining the world title. Recall that Amusan last year surprise shocked the world, winning the 100-meter hurdle. As a champion, not just win it with a new record. And yesterday, he started the defenders of the title, despite go through some devastating situations as a result of integrity unit of World Athletics, accusing her of trying to avoid testing of whereabout failure. But fortunately for her, she was cleared by a panel of World Athletic Tribunal who find that he has not committed any offense while her failure not to be available for world test. And now that have proved her, give her opportunity to compete at the World Championship. She was cleared just about 2 days to the commencement of the competition. While many are hoping that, thinking that Amusan may not be in a stable mood to compete effectively, but she shocked the world yesterday and surprised everybody by winning her heat. And now she said the only thing in her mind, she's fully focused on retaining the title. We can only wish her and we'll continue to share her the semi-final of the 100-meter hurdle women will come up later today at 7 p.m. Nigeria time. And all Nigerians were urging Amusan, let's go and to retain the title. That's all our prayer now wish. Well, the Flying Eagles of 1983 are now, who 40 years after, are claiming and petition the House of Representatives to monetize the scholarship and MON award pledged them by the federal government. The Flying Eagles of 1983, despite not making an impressive part at the World Cup in Mexico, the team could not go beyond could not go beyond the preliminary round of the competition, the group stage. They didn't make up to the knockout stage of the competition. But the then president, who is now late, Alhaji Seun Shagari, feel that their performance, their qualification for the World Cup and even went to the World Cup, feel that they did Nigerian proud, and they promised them that each of the players, all the 18 players will be awarded scholarship to pursue their education, and at the same time will be given them the national honor of MON. Since the 40 years, that pledge has not been redeemed till today, and the players has now petitioned the House of Representatives for the new federal government, urging the new federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release funds and to monetize, to convert that scholarship to money and pay them through the federal Ministry of Sport, and at the same time award them the national honor that was promised them by the then president So, well, the team where it was led by the Christopher, and their captain that time was Ali Jeje. We popularly know the Ali Jeje name, and the players are now have now resolved that the promise that was made to them, the scholarship, since all of them couldn't go to school or they were not even redeemed that pledge and not sent to school, they should monetize that value of that money for that school at that time and pay them the money. And at the same time, the award of MON should be redeemed and giving them the national honor of their award that they deserve it, and to ensure that all their effort in representing the country was not just in vain. But when we move ahead to our next story, Enyiba of Aba will be hosting the Alali, the Bengazis of the Alali of Libya at the Aba township, at their stadium in Aba. The Enyiba Stadium get a nod from the CAF to hold the competitions in Aba. Enyiba in the first leg of the competition play in Libya. Enyiba put up a fantastic fight well to the end, but at the end of the day, they were subdued by the Benghazi of Al-Ali Benghazi. But they were subdued by the Libyan club. The match ended 4-1, and as it is now, Enyiba need at least to score a goal and avoid conceding any goal with 1-0 to progress to the next round of the competition on a away route. The first leg ended 4-1, and Enyiba needed at least to score just one goal and avoid conceding any goal to progress to the next round. And even the chairman of the club, former Nigeria international and Super Eagles captain, Ambassador Kanu Nwankwo, has been rallying around the club, urging the players that yes, we can do it, and yes, we can do it. So we hope the match come up, the return leg come up on Sunday, and we can only wish Enyiba successful outing, because we can't afford to see our own league champion to drop just in the preliminary round of the competition. Enyiba has won the competition 2 times. They won the CAF Champions League back to back, 2003 and 2004, and since then, those Nigeria teams have been able to repeat that form. And years in year out, we keep on lamenting that Nigerian clubs are not good enough to win the CAF Champions League. So even last year, after a strong fight by River United and Plateau United of Jos, both of the teams could not make it to the group stage of the competition. They were dropped along the line, and even in the CAF Confederations Cup that were they dropped into the CAF Confederations Cup. Still, why River United made some progress getting to the group stage, Plateau United couldn't make any meaningful progress in the competition. And this year again, we have Enyiba International of Aba and the Remo Star representing Nigeria in the CAF Champions League. And just in the preliminary round, Enyiba have lost their first leg. But we hope that they still have a better chance based on the way they play in the first leg. Scoring to the goal away, they can only manage to score one goal and avoid conceding any one goal. That would automatically give them to aid them to progress to the next round of the competition. Then the Nigerian Boxing Federation, NBF, ahead of the Paris Olympic qualifier slated for Dakar, Senegal, from 14 to 16 of September, have opened camp for 14 boxers who are currently training and intensify their preparation for the championship. According to the head coach of the team, the Nigerian has a talent and has all it takes to qualify, to pick a ticket to the next Olympic competitions. According to the coach, we all do what it takes to ensure that we have success this time. But first thing is that we want to qualify for the Olympic. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Before you can even hope it up, do well at the Olympic, first we have to qualify. And to me, based on his word, it's like they have started well by open camp at the National Stadium, and to prepare the athletes. 14 boxers are currently preparing to ensure that they pick a ticket to represent Nigeria at the Paris Olympic. Well, we'll be going for a short break, and then when we return back, then we'll continue from the front.
be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
Well, welcome back from that short break. I still remain yours, Salif Usman. We have a new sheriff in sport, the new minister of sport. Senator John Owen Enon has vowed to the position in the Nigerian sports sector. As is in normal traditions, and he has followed the footsteps of his predecessors in their usual style. Yesterday, early this morning, Senator Enon was at the National Stadium, at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, to inspect the facilities. He was taking around all the facilities to see for himself. Went to the package B to see a lot of things for himself. Where he was seeing, he was obviously not too satisfied with some of the things he was seeing, and some of the things he was seeing. But that has been the normal tradition of every minister that came. The moment they come, they will move around to see for themselves. And yes, he has put the footstep. Along with the Palm Sec, yesterday they were at the National Stadium early this morning to see the facility for himself, and he has vowed that he will do all he can do within his possible best, according to the possible way, to the position Nigerian sport and to position Nigerian sport to make Nigerian sport greater. In his way, he say, I don't need to be a footballer and I don't need to be an athlete to be a minister of sport. All I need to do is to have a leader who is ready, who is determined to make a policy decision that will change the fortune of sport development. That will change the fortune of the sport development. He's already, according to him, he says in his way, he says it's already learning quick, trying to know some of the terminology in some of the word and sport terminology in sport. And he is learning fast, and he's currently committed by his word that he's committed is based on his commitment that early this morning was at the National Stadium. Instead of being brief, he wants to see things for himself. And we can only prove that he has seen some of the things in the National Stadium that is already at almost at a solid state. Because at the moment, the National Stadium Abuja is not too good to host any international match. After we have a rescue from the business mogul, Aliko Dangote to refurbish the stadium last year, the stadium has almost gone back to his bad shape again. The main pitch is not playable at the moment, and the minister was early this morning seat for himself. Even at the package B, went to the package B around, and most of the package B around the stadium, most of the facilities, the swimming pool, all are at the sorry state. Even the tennis court, everything is not in the perfect shape to be both as the best stadium the best facilities we can claim to have. Despite in spite of the huge money spent on that edifice, most of it are going to. And we hope that the former lawmaker who now is sport administrator will be able to turn things around. His predecessor, Sunday Dare, tried to do what he could, but unfortunately, well, he tried his best, but unfortunately, he could not turn around the dreaming fortune of Nigerian sport. When he actually came, just like Enoch has started, visited all the national stadium, went to Kaduna to see the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, went to Ibadan, went to Lagos, and everywhere see all the stadium. But apart from the Abuja National Stadium that he tried to face, getting based on adopt a speech initiative initiated by his administration, when that Aliko Dangote adopted a speech, paid some money, and then to refurbish the stadium. Yes, the stadium came back and were able to host a couple of matches. But now, you see to me, the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, which has now been handed over to the Kaduna State government, is still at its sorry state. The Lagos National Stadium, which was also adopted by another business mogul from Lagos, the work is on the progress of the stadium. But at the moment, we promised that the former minister saw that they keep on promising that yes, that stadium will become to normal, and he's going to commission it before, but he couldn't achieve before he left. Even the Oyo State where he come from, the stadium at the Liberty at the Ibadan, it's still the same thing. Well, now we have the new sheriff in town in the person of John Eno, who everybody brave. He has a name to protect. He has to live up to his name and not to toe the line of his predecessors. At least a lot of people have grumbling over his appointment on the instance that he doesn't have any background about sport, and he has said that he don't need to be a footballer or need to be an athlete to be a sport minister, and that all he need to do is to be committed to his job and stand and do the job. I hope that Senator Ewan Enoch tenor as the sports administrator we'll see the changing of photo for sport development in Nigeria. Well, we'll be going on the foreign scene. Pep Guardiola, the Manchester United manager, who is going to miss a couple of matches of Manchester United. When Manchester United play this forthcoming this weekend, they'll be playing without their managers because the Spaniard have a emergency surgery yesterday on his back, and that he's going to be sidelined for at least for a maximum of 2 weeks. So definitely the league champion, the European champion, and everything Manchester United who won the treble last season they are going to be without their manager in the next 2 league matches. Manchester United have hit ground running to defend their title by winning their first two matches. Man City have hit the ground running to win their first 2 matches against win their first 2 matches against newcomer Burnley and Newcastle. But in their next match, they are going to be without their managers Pep Guardiola, and can wish Pep Guardiola a quick recovery because the Premier League needs his person at least to spice the league up. Well, Manchester United are making a bid to sign Fenerbahce's goalkeeper. They are trying to strengthen their goalkeeping department. Manchester United bring in after letting David Gale left. They bring in Honor in the summers, and Honor have started as a now they are trying to bring in the new more goalkeeper, at least to give the competitions to the new goalkeeper, and almost a region of about 6 billion pounds is on the table for the goalkeeper, and we are waiting to. Yesterday it was reported that the player may undergo a medical, but unfortunately, up to this moment, that is not yet settled. But negotiation is still ongoing, and we hope that Manchester United will be able to strike the deal before the end of transfer. The transfer season is definitely going to be closed in the next week, and particularly on the 31st of August. This month. Well, that is the size of today's edition of the Sport Orbit. Until we come your way again tomorrow, precisely. Stay there without any issues. We'll be back with the next edition with a bumper package, and then I hope that my striking partner Alpha Action will definitely be here. And like I said earlier, go out there, either you are in Budapest or anywhere you are, at 7 p.m. is the time when Tobi Amusan will take him to the track for the semi-final of the women 100-meter hurdle. And we are all behind, wishing anywhere you are, pray for Amusan, wish her successful defense of our title. We wish to see Amusan in the final and definitely retain the title. Well, until you come your way, I remain yours sincerely, Salihu Usman. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast